Everyone says they don't have time. They say they're too busy, that there aren't enough hours in the day, that life keeps getting in the way. But the truth? You don't lack time. You lack clarity. Because if you really knew what mattered, if you were truly clear on what you wanted, you'd find time. You always do. Time isn't your problem. Confusion is. Most people wake up already behind. They roll over, grab their phone, and scroll through a flood of other people's priorities, messages, notifications, tasks. And before they even brush their teeth, their mind is already cluttered. They say, "I'll get focused later." But later never comes. Because without clarity, the mind doesn't know where to go, so it runs everywhere. It jumps from task to task, from idea to idea, from goal to goal. You start 10 things and finish none. And then you wonder why you're tired all the time. It's not because you're doing too much. It's because you're scattering your energy across things that don't move you forward. Clarity isn't about doing more. It's about knowing what to stop doing. You see, it's easy to be busy. Anyone can fill their schedule. But being busy doesn't mean you're progressing. There's a big difference between movement and progress. You can run in circles for years and still end up exactly where you started. Most people mistake activity for achievement. They think checking boxes equals growth, but all they're really doing is staying distracted. You don't need more motivation. You need direction. Because when you know where you're going, you don't have to force yourself to move, you're pulled forward. Clarity creates momentum. Confusion creates resistance. That's why the same 24 hours feels different for everyone. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how clearly you see what to do with it. Two people can have the same schedule, one changes their life, the other feels stuck. The difference isn't time, it's focus. Think about it. When you know what you want, decisions become easy. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop chasing distractions disguised as opportunities. You stop wasting energy on things that don't align. But when you're unclear, everything looks important. Everything feels urgent, and you end up doing nothing well. Clarity is the difference between a laser and a flashlight. One burns through steel, the other just makes things visible. But here's the thing about clarity, it doesn't come by accident. You have to create it. You have to slow down long enough to ask hard questions. What do I actually want? What's really meaningful to me? If I keep doing what I'm doing, where will it take me? And most people don't ask those questions, because they're afraid of the answers. They're afraid to realize they've been climbing the wrong mountain. Afraid to admit they've built a life around things that don't fulfill them. Afraid to stop, because if they stop, they'll have to face themselves. So they stay busy. They keep moving. They fill every quiet moment with noise. Not because they lack time, but because they're hiding from clarity. Clarity requires honesty. It requires saying, "This isn't working." It requires cutting away what doesn't fit anymore, even if it once did. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's also the start of freedom. Because once you get clear, every decision becomes simpler. You stop trying to do everything. You focus on what truly matters, and the rest starts to fade away. You realize that life isn't about managing time. It's about managing energy and attention. You have enough time to build something great. You just don't have enough time to waste. If you're honest, you probably know what's stealing your time. It's not work. It's not responsibilities. It's distractions. It's the endless scrolling, the constant comparison, the mindless habits that eat away at your focus, one small moment at a time. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and suddenly, you've lost hours to things you don't even remember. You tell yourself, it's just a break, but those breaks add up. You say, "I'll start when I have more time." But the truth is, you'll never have more time. You'll just have more excuses. Here's the shift. Stop trying to find time. Start creating clarity. Because once you're clear, time expands. When you know exactly what you want to do, you don't waste hours overthinking it. You don't procrastinate. You don't need perfect conditions, you just start. Clarity kills hesitation. It turns chaos into order. It makes action feel natural. Ask yourself right now, what's one thing that would change your life if you did it consistently for a year? Not 10 things, just one. Now look at your week, your habits, your choices. How much of your time is actually going toward that thing? If it's not, you don't need more discipline, you need clarity. Because discipline without direction just leads to burnout. You can be the hardest worker in the room, and still not move closer to what you truly want. Every time you say yes to something meaningless, you say no to something that matters. Every time you fill your day with noise, you silence your potential. Clarity means saying no more often, not because you're cold or selfish, but because you finally understand what deserves your attention. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, and doing them well. You don't need a longer day. You need a clearer vision. Because time obeys focus. When you focus deeply, 1 hour can change everything. When you drift aimlessly, 10 hours can disappear without meaning. You can't control the clock, but you can control your clarity. So take a step back. Look at your life honestly. Ask yourself, where is my time actually going, and does it reflect what I say I care about? If not, start realigning. Cut the noise. Simplify. Your life doesn't need to be full, it needs to be focused. You don't lack time. You lack clarity of purpose, direction, and priorities. And the moment you find it, everything changes. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop trying to do everything at once. You start creating from intention, not impulse. You start living by design, not default. That's when your life starts to feel lighter, simpler, more meaningful. Because clarity gives every minute a purpose. And one day, you'll look back and realize, it was never about having more time. It was about using what you already had, with focus and purpose. You'll realize that clarity was the real key all along. And once you have that, you'll never say, I don't have time again.